The call that changed everything. The golden hour light stretched across the downtown financial district, painting the glass towers and busy streets in warm amber tones. The afternoon was winding down, and the city hummed with its familiar rhythm, the distant sound of traffic, the gentle murmur of conversations from sidewalk cafes, and the steady pulse of a metropolis in motion. Office workers were beginning to emerge from buildings, ready to head home after another long day. Marcus Wellington stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows of his 42nd floor office, watching the miniature people and cars moving below like pieces on a vast chessboard. At 38, he had built Wellington Educational Technologies into one of the most successful companies in the country. But success had come with a price. 16-hour workdays had become routine, weekend meetings were the norm, and family time had become something he scheduled between business calls. His assistant knocked softly on the office door. "Mr. Wellington, your ex-wife called again about Emma's school play tomorrow evening. She wanted to confirm whether you'd be attending." Marcus sighed, rubbing his temples where a tension headache was beginning to form. "Tell Sarah I'll try to make it, but I have the Henderson Industries meeting tomorrow night. It's been scheduled for months." The assistant nodded and quietly closed the door, leaving Marcus alone with the familiar weight of guilt that seemed to follow him everywhere. His 7-year-old daughter Emma had already missed too many school events because of his work commitments. He kept promising himself that things would slow down, that he would make more time for her, but somehow there was always another crisis, another deal, another emergency that demanded his attention. Marcus returned to his desk, where contracts and financial reports waited for his review. The work never seemed to end, but it was easier than thinking about the disappointment he had seen in Emma's eyes the last time he had missed her dance recital. At least business made sense. At least in boardrooms, he knew exactly what was expected of him. His phone buzzed with an incoming call from an unknown number. Marcus almost ignored it. He received dozens of sales calls and solicitations every day, but something made him answer. Marcus Wellington speaking. "Mr. Wellington." The voice belonged to a young woman, and there was an urgency in her tone that immediately caught his attention. "This is Emma Rodriguez from St. Mary's Hospital. I'm a nurse in the emergency department." Marcus felt his blood turn cold. Hospital calls never brought good news. "I'm calling because your daughter, Emma Wellington, is here with us," the nurse continued. "She's been in an accident." The world seemed to stop spinning. Marcus gripped the phone tighter, his knuckles turning white. "What happened? Is she okay?" "She's stable now, but she was hit by a car while crossing 5th Street about an hour ago. The driver said she ran into the street suddenly, like she was chasing something. She has a concussion and some bruises, but the doctors don't believe there are any serious internal injuries." Marcus was already reaching for his jacket, his mind racing through 1,000 worst-case scenarios. "I'm coming right now. Is her mother there?" "We called the emergency contact number on her school registration, but there was no answer. Your number was listed as the secondary contact. I'll be there in 10 minutes, Marcus said, already heading toward the elevator. "Please tell her Daddy is coming." As his driver rushed through the city streets, Marcus found himself praying for the first time in years. He thought about all the times he had chosen work over time with Emma, all the bedtime stories he had missed, all the Saturday mornings he had spent in the office instead of at the park with his daughter. The guilt felt overwhelming, crushing him with the weight of all his misplaced priorities. When Marcus burst through the doors of St. Mary's emergency department, he found Emma Rodriguez waiting for him at the nurse's station. She was younger than he had expected, probably in her mid-20s, with kind eyes and the calm demeanor of someone accustomed to dealing with family crises. "Mr. Wellington, I'm Emma Rodriguez, the nurse who called you. Let me take you to your daughter." As they walked down the hospital corridor, Emma Rodriguez spoke in gentle, reassuring tones. "She's been asking for you constantly since she woke up. She keeps saying she was trying to find you." "Find me?" Marcus asked, confused. "What do you mean?" "She told me she saw you walking down the street, and she wanted to surprise you. She broke away from her babysitter and ran across the street to catch up to you." Marcus felt his heart shatter into pieces. Emma had been trying to reach him, had been so eager to see her father that she had risked her safety just for the chance to surprise him. They reached a small room where Emma lay on a hospital bed, her blonde hair spread across the white pillow. She had a bandage on her forehead and her left arm was in a sling. But when she saw Marcus, her face lit up with a smile that made his chest ache with love and regret. "Daddy," Emma said, trying to sit up, "I saw you walking, and I wanted to give you a hug, but the car came so fast." Marcus sat beside her bed and took her small hand in both of his. "Baby girl, I'm so sorry I wasn't there. I'm so sorry you got hurt trying to find me." "It's okay, Daddy," Emma said with the simple forgiveness that only children possess. "Emma the nurse has been taking really good care of me. She has the same name as me. Isn't that funny?" Marcus looked up at Emma Rodriguez, who was adjusting Emma's blanket with gentle hands. "Thank you," he said quietly. "Thank you for taking care of her. She's a special little girl," Emma Rodriguez replied. "She's been telling me all about her daddy who builds schools for kids who don't have any. She's very proud of you." As the evening wore on, Marcus stayed by Emma's bedside, holding her hand as she drifted in and out of sleep. Emma Rodriguez checked on them regularly, bringing him coffee and updating him on Emma's progress. She didn't need to stay past her shift, but she lingered, sensing that this father needed someone to reassure him that his daughter would be okay. "Can I ask you something?" Emma Rodriguez said during one of her visits. "Emma mentioned that she doesn't see you very much because of your work. She said she misses you." Marcus felt tears he had been holding back finally spill over. "I know, I keep telling myself I'm working so hard to build a better future for her, but I'm missing her childhood. Today could have been ... double quotes. He couldn't finish the sentence. But it wasn't. Emma Rodriguez said gently. "She's okay, and you're here now. Sometimes it takes a crisis to remind us what really matters." 3 hours later, the doctors cleared Emma for discharge with instructions for rest and follow-up appointments. As Marcus carried his sleepy daughter to the car, he made a decision that would change both their lives. The next morning, Marcus called his assistant from home, where he was making pancakes with Emma, who was feeling much better despite her bandaged head. "Cancel the Henderson meeting," Marcus said firmly, "and clear my schedule for this afternoon. I have a school play to attend." 6 months later, Marcus had restructured his entire company, promoting trusted executives to handle day-to-day operations while he focused on strategic planning and spending. Real time with Emma, and every few weeks, they would visit St. Mary's Hospital to bring flowers to Emma Rodriguez, the nurse whose phone call had saved more than just a little girl's life. It had saved a father's relationship with his daughter.